What is going on? Counterfools here with my week 2 thoughts. If you didn't see week 1 thoughts, basically I just go over some surprising things I saw, and at the end of it I ask you who had the best game, breakout game, whatever. I'll give you 4 choices. You can comment below who you think is the recipient of the player of the week. Week 2, another fantastic week. This is the best 2 weeks I've seen in football for a long time. A lot of close games, a lot of really nice endings. Minnesota get 2 straight games that they either lost or won in the last 30 seconds. Even, of course, they went to overtime last week, but they tied it and won the game. They lost this week, and giving Andrew Luck his first win of his career, and of his very, very long career, hopefully. The biggest surprise to me this week was definitely the Patriots and Saints losing. Saints becoming 0-2. In my opinion, it looks like they missed Sean Payton. Drew Brees is not looking like Drew Brees. That defense is getting gashed. Can't stop anything. Forcing to throw the ball more. Darren Sproles had 13 receptions. It was just a messy game for the Saints. I feel like week 3 is the big week for them because they play Kansas City. They're not playing a athletic quarterback like an RG3 or a Cam Newton, but they're going to face a fierce running attack. I know. The Bills stopped them, but Jamal Charles is probably going to come back more motivated. Peyton Hillis is a big guy. They might struggle tackling him. We know they got linebackers. They're a little bit banged up too. That's why I'm not really skeptical on the passing game, because Jabari Greer, Patrick Robinson are injured. It's just that running game, and I don't know. It's just the team looks in shambles right now. I think they're missing Sean Payton, but I think week 3 for them is a must-win because Joe Vitt comes in there and they start playing. It could be too late to win that division. I know it'll be week 6, but he's got to adjust the team, and he has no input. And trade deadline, I think, I don't know. They actually might have pushed it back, so it actually might not be a little bit of a factor. How the Patriots lost, people were like, oh, he shanked an easy field goal. Yeah, it was an easy field goal, but Tom Brady was not Tom Brady. Over the past couple years, I watched Tom Brady. His 1 week, how you make him throw interceptions, which is a weakness for him, you put your hands in the air. That's how they got that early interception. Someone put the hands in the air and tipped the ball. That's how the Bills beat the Patriots last year. Tom Brady would throw the ball and they would get tipped, and you put your hands up. It just seems like he gets dazed when your hands go up. He throws the ball because he likes to throw it really low to his short receivers like a Wes Welker or a Gronkowski. So tipping them kind of, it puts an effect on that, and it really messes with Tom Brady. That's one of the key factors to stopping him is tip passes, because he throws the ball so low over the offensive line and that you can just put your hand up and tip him. So those are 2 big surprises. Big surprise players: Victor Cruz-Akin, Knicks, Reggie Bush, C.J. Spiller once again, Eli Manning throwing for 500. It was an incredible week for players. There's big games from Reggie Bush, Darren Sproles, Danny Amendola, Victor Cruz-Akin, Knicks, C.J. Spiller, Eli Manning. Who else was there? Trent Richardson. Another surprise there is the Bengals, the fighting at the end. They lost by 1 point against the Eagles. They lost by a touchdown to the Bengals. They are looking like, a tough team to play. They might be one of those. They're not going to be the greatest team, but they can probably snag a couple wins away this year from unlikely opponents. I just feel they are one of those teams that are like, oh, the Browns, just, we'll win this one. You just can't sleep on them. They're definitely going to miss Joe Hayden, but he comes back, I think, week 6. So if they get going, who knows? They can be, if they could start winning these games and finishing them correctly, they could be a borderline wildcard team. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying if they get the fourth quarter together, they can win several games. The fact that 2 straight weeks that they've kept the game close, and a lot of people thought that offense would be weak, including me. I'm kind of scared going into this week when we play them at home. It's a very deadly team because people will sleep on them. And like I said, they'll look at the schedule and be like, Browns will win that game. And then they see after the game they got like the Patriots. That stuff happens. Teams overlook teams. So I think they're one of those teams this year that will snag some upset wins. There's nothing. I mean, I can't really think of any major. I'm looking at the games right now. Miami destroying Oakland. Everybody was raving about how Oakland's defense is pretty good. They got destroyed by maybe one of the worst offenses in the league. And Reggie Bush is just looking like, a Reggie Bush we never saw. He's carrying that team. Ryan Tannehill had a nice game. 18 for 30. Kind of got to get that up, but 35 points. That defense is not to sleep on. They were top 5 last year. They did switch to the 4-3, but they still got a great run defense. They got 3 solid defensive tackles. They have a right end who's basically a defensive tackle in Odrick. Cameron Rake is their pass rush guy. They got Dansby. Their secondary is a little bit shaky. Carson Palmer kind of did pass all over them, but there was a lot of garbage time yards in there too. So I don't know. Miami could be one of those another teams. Their defense is a very strong defense. They could be another team do not sleep on because their defense is a great It's not as great as it was the past 2 years, but it's still a above average defense to me right now. They could sneak away with some wins. I could see them maybe winning 5 or 6 games this year. I thought maybe like they'll win 3 or 4, but if they can have games like that and shut down the opposing team's top offensive player, Darren McFadden, who has been dreadful the past 2 weeks. Yes, he's getting receptions for the people in the PPR leagues. That's good because I think he almost has 30 receptions already. But he's not living up to the hype that people thought he was going to be this year. Top 5 fantasy running back. I don't know what's wrong with him. Maybe he did play the Chargers and Miami, who do have improved defenses. So it'll be nice to see him face a defense that struggles. Maybe we'll see him explode. We don't know. It's a very risky situation there because he's always injured too. So Also, another surprise: St. Louis beating Washington. And the controversy in this game was Josh Morgan throwing the ball at Corton Finnegan, who just gets under people's skin. People are like, oh, he's a dirty player. He's not a dirty player. He would think, he'll get in your head. He'll play mind games with you and make you hurt when it counts. He did that, and Redskins lost the game because of that. Danny Amendola, 15 catches. I personally think at this pace right now he's at, he probably had more catches than Wes Welker. They benched Wes Welker for the Cardinals game, but he had to come on because Aaron Hernandez was injured. But the pace that Danny Amendola is on right now, you could be looking at more receptions than oh god, I sneezed. I'm sorry I sneezed in the mic. I just didn't want to stop. But yeah, Danny Amendola could be on pace for 100 catches. I would not be surprised. It was a beautiful game between those two. He has no receivers, but Sam Bradford, no offensive line either. Brian Rockwell got injured. What's his name? Kerry Taker, whatever his name is, the guy they got from the Rams. He got injured. But St. Louis, that NFC West, they had the best week out of any, division. All the 4 of the teams won. 49ers are 2-0. Arizona's 2-0. Seattle's 1-1. Washington's 1-1. Right now, this is the strongest division in this league. The Rams lost by 4 points last week. 49ers beat the Green Bay Packers last week. Arizona won. Who did they beat? Who did Arizona beat? Oh, it's Seattle. And then Seattle comes back against Dallas, who people thought, oh, they beat the Giants, but the Giants have a secondary. Seattle does. That division right now is the strongest. I'm pretty sure I said in this prediction video they will be the strongest. I'm afraid as a Bills fan because we play all 4 of those teams this year, and they all have solid defenses. It's very scary. You might say Rams. Oh, no. They had a Court Finnegan, Kendall Langford, Chris Long. They signed to extension. Robert Griffin's going to be there. Janoris Jenkins. They improved their defense the most, in my mind. I know I did the Saints, but the Rams were a very underrated team this year in free agency / offseason, whatever you want to call it. That division's just scary. I mean, them to pull out wins like that. I want to see how the Patriots play the 49ers or how they play, Seattle and the Rams. Because of Arizona has probably the worst offense in the division. Yes, they have Larry Fitzgerald, but they don't have the quarterback. Every team that the division has a quarterback on their team. They're the weakest team in that division offensive wise, but defensively they might have the second best defense. The way the 49ers are playing, I don't know if anyone would touch them. I would just be I'm afraid of that division. I would be. They're a very scary division, and no one should sleep on any of those teams in there. After seeing what the Cardinals did, yeah, they got lucky, but Ryan Williams fumbled when they're trying to run the clock out. The Patriots had it in their hands, and they did not finish like they usually do. That game was meant for the Cardinals to win. They outplayed Tom Brady. Kevin Cobb outplayed Tom Brady. They've won 2 games with 2 different quarterbacks. It's really hard to do too. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this. They got the 4 players. I think we'll say MVP of the week. How about that? Danny Amendola, Victor Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, and Reggie Bush. I'm not going to put Spiller in there because all 4 of those players had a very, very big impact in close games, except for Reggie Bush. CJ Spiller leads the league in rushing, but no, Reggie Bush had a better game than him. So did Victor Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, and Danny Amendola. Personally, I want to say I'm going to eliminate Victor and Nicks because they're on an elite offense. I don't want to call it elite. They're on the best offense out of these 4 players. Reggie Bush has no receivers. He has a rookie quarterback, while Danny Amendola has Sam Bradford, Steven Jackson, who got benched. But I'm gonna definitely say Reggie Bush because, like I said, they have no receivers. They have a rookie quarterback. Danny Amendola, he had the second best game, I find. He meant a lot to that team, but I'm going to go Reggie Bush because he just had an outstanding game, and they won because some of the runs he was making were elite runs. They were Reggie Bush type of runs, and I feel like he definitely deserves the Player of the Week this week. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, prediction videos come out on Thursday game, and then Saturday for the Sunday games, and then I do this on Monday. So comment below what you thought. Give me some of your thoughts and who you thought maybe the Player of the Week was. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.